Hey y'all, that's Mervin here, first one of the go. This is what I hope is to be kind of a regular series, and I'm gonna warn you now, they are going to be rambling messes. I hope I can keep some form of coherency in them. But by coherency, I mean essentially the general subject which I introduced at the first. I can't guarantee that we're gonna wind up in the same place we began with these things, but these are just going to be basically me sitting down and complaining, because, it seems to entertain you guys. So I figure I may as well do it in audio form as well as written. My first one to do for this rant is, this came to my attention, I think last week, might be 2 weeks ago now, and I've been trying to gather some notes up about this and to try and keep me on track, but it wasn't working. So the original one I wanted to do is one I'll have to save for later, because this one just made me mad when I saw this. I was browsing the pit, ff.net, and I figured I wanted to go look at some Supernatural Twilight crossovers, because I like a good parody, and I've only read one or two where the Winchester boys meet up with the Cullens. And as nice as that is, sometimes I can't get entirely behind them because they change one canon or the other too much for me to truly enjoy. Because as much as I hate the Twilight canon, I am a true canon stickler, and I don't like either one to be broken for a crossover. They have to jive in some form. Little things I can understand being changed here and there, but not to the extent they were being changed. So I went to the pit, and I went straight to the Supernatural Twilight crossover section, and there are over 200 fics there. I found surprisingly little by way of parody. There was so much written straight, it almost astounded me. And the thing I saw the most, in terms of pairings, was Bella Castiel. Wish you could see my face right now. For those of you who don't follow Supernatural, or don't know anything about it, Castiel is played by Misha Collins, and he's an angel. He's introduced in season 4. You've probably seen the famous shot. There it is. But the thing about Castiel is that he's not truly a fallen angel, but he's rebelled. He comes down and he lives amongst humans, and he becomes sympathetic and close to them, and by the end of season 4, he has full-on rebelled and is working with humanity instead of against it now. Basically, he's the, what they call the unfunny. This series is Spock or Data, for a Star Trek reference. Every nerd needs one. He's the outsider, the observer, who's trying to understand humanity, because he's about as not human as it gets. He doesn't understand human emotion. He doesn't understand motivation. He understands, nothing about humanity, but it's about his journey and trying to understand it, and eventually coming to terms with humans. And at one point, for about 2 episodes, he becomes basically human. But, that's not the main thing that's important. The main thing is how outraged I was when I saw just how many people pair Bella Swan with Castiel. And at first, I figured I would just come in and rant about that, just how outrageous that. But then I realized that there's actually a bigger issue stemming from this outrage. Because if I were just ranting about how dare you even think Castiel would touch Bella Swan, or even look at her, even wearing his vessel, that would make it sound like I was just being a very angry fangirl and defending my territory. Because, for one, I'm actually not, I'm a Castiel fangirl, but not in the sense that I want to do him. I'm a Castiel fangirl in the same sense I am a fangirl of Samwise from Lord of the Rings, and Neville Longbottom from Harry Potter. It's the I'm not worthy variety. Just for the record, in terms of who I want to do in Supernatural, I want to make a Winchester sandwich with both the boys. Just thought you might like to know. I didn't want it to come across as just me screaming, "How dare you touch what's mine?" No, this is simple reading comprehension fail with people pairing Bella with Castiel. It's more than obvious why people pair Bella Swan with Castiel if they cross over with Supernatural. It's because Bella Swan gets a supernatural guy. God forbid she be paired with a human. Although when they do pair her with humans, they almost always put her with Dean. Which, again, I could almost buy that, considering how he sleeps around. I'd buy it more than Bella Castiel, at any rate. Trying to gather my thoughts here. The problem with their reasoning is this. Their reasoning is basically, Bella Swan gets a supernatural being, Castiel is supernatural. Not only that, but he's an angel. And how many times have we heard Edward described as an angel? There's no count on the planet that can encompass how many times we are made to understand that Edward Cullen is an angel. So it makes sense. She'd get Castiel, and, well, on the surface it looks like he's everything she wants. He's super powerful. He has immense power behind him, and it doesn't hurt that he's pretty good looking. It makes sense. He's also very stoic. He's emotionless, and I find it very difficult to read Edward's emotions most of the time, but that's just because Meyer's a suck author. So, if you want to be shallow about it, well, fine, and yeah, she should take Castiel, but it's like these people, these are straight fics, so these are definite fans of both series, and I just find it so hard to believe how this is such a basic fail. I almost mean what I yelled as a knee-jerk reaction, which was, you people have the reading comprehension of a goat. Sorry for that. That was inflammatory. I almost mean it, though, when I think even more on it. Just how Castiel and Bella, in fact, everything about Supernatural and Twilight, not just the characters, are such opposites that this pairing makes about as much sense as Darth Vader standing in the ocean, pouring ocean water into a Brita filter. It doesn't register. Just bear with me here. This is going to be a multiple part rant, and I can tell you that right now. I'm sorry. Think about the theme of Twilight. Okay? And I don't mean the True Love Conquers All theming, because that's complete BS. I'm talking about the theme that is prevalent through the entire series, and that is the casting off of humanity. The constant degradation of humanity. This is not about man's triumph over anything. This is about a supernatural being's triumph over humanity. This is about casting humanity and thus imperfection off. Humanity is the imperfection. Humanity is the stain. Humanity is what must be gotten rid of. That is what we spend 4 books trying to do, and ultimately succeeding in doing. It's even technically 6 books, because you got Bree Tanner in there. She doesn't even start out human. And then there's Midnight Sun. He's not human. And we know how he spends most of his spare time talking about how much humanity sucks. The theme of Twilight is the casting off of humanity, and thus the casting off of imperfection. The casting off, if you want to be religious, the casting off of sin. Supernatural is about the triumph of humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about a struggle of humanity. The last couple of seasons focus to go into religious horror. And the main focus is how humanity itself is caught in between an epic battle between heaven and hell. And the ultimate end of season 5 is that humanity conquers. Humanity is what comes through and ultimately wins the battle. It ends it on its terms, not heaven's terms, not hell's terms. Humanity wins. Humanity is always put up as the ultimate in this series. People, humans, families. I mean, that's one of the... I mean, they practically spell the theme out in several episodes. I mean, they ultimately say I don't remember what religion they're going for with the Lucifer angle, but it's made clear that the reason Lucifer was cast into hell is because he refused to bow to humanity, and it's made clear that humans are God's favorites. Okay? So, everything points to humanity being good and supernatural. Now, while I'm ending this and moving into part 2, I'll let you understand just why Bella Castiel makes no sense now, or why a crossover, a straight one between those two, where everything ends happily and they aren't clashing with each other, makes no sense. See you in part 2.